Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into something absolutely wild. We're looking at a highly detailed remote viewing session recorded on August 4th, 2011. And this session claims to crack wide open the extraterrestrial secrets hidden inside the most notoriously secretive military base on the planet, Area 51 in Nevada. Now, whether you are a total skeptic or a hardcore believer, the details in this text are just incredibly captivating. We're going to impartially unpack exactly what this author claims to have seen when projecting their consciousness far, far away from the public eye. You know, whenever we talk about government cover-ups, the 1947 Roswell incident is usually the first thing that comes to mind, right? With the official story being that it was just a crashed weather balloon. But this remote viewing session suggests we've actually been looking in the completely wrong place, or more accurately, at the wrong depth. According to the source, to find the real truth about Area 51, we shouldn't be scanning the desert's surface or watching the skies. We need to be looking incredibly deep underground. So here is our roadmap for today's descent. We'll start with the underground space of Area 51, then meet the base's bizarre inhabitants, check out the walk-ins and alien tech, explore the alleged control of Earth's history, and finally, look at the U.S. government's ultimate endgame. All right, let's jump straight into Section 1, the underground space of Area 51. Our journey starts way below the surface. According to the session, the infiltration of the base begins by traveling down a staggeringly long elevator shaft. The remote viewer describes projecting part of their spirit into the facility and sensing that this hidden elevator drops to an extreme depth of 1,500 meters beneath the Nevada desert. To put that into perspective for a second, that is nearly a full mile straight down into the Earth's crust. The text specifically states, it feels like a deep, deep, deep well dug to a depth of about 1,500 meters. But once you get to the bottom, it's not just a dark cave. The viewer observes a sprawling underground complex featuring these mysterious slanted stone corridors. Interestingly, the text explicitly compares the look and feel of these hallways to the ancient architecture you'd find inside an Egyptian pyramid. Now, as you can imagine, the security down there is tight, but the source describes it as being completely bizarre. The text claims these ancient-feeling corridors are constantly patrolled by artificially created cyborg guards. And here's the kicker. They aren't massive machines. They are only 30 to 40 centimeters tall, basically just over a foot high. But despite their size, they are equipped with biological vital signs, and they just tirelessly wander the halls checking for any unauthorized intruders. Which brings us nicely to Section 2. The base's bizarre inhabitants. As the remote viewer pushes deeper into the facility, the biological entities they claim to encounter completely defy anything we know on Earth. The sheer scale of life in this base is full of wild contrasts. On one hand, you have those tiny, foot-tall cyborg guards scurrying around, but on the exact opposite end of the spectrum, the account alleges the base is holding something absolutely massive captive, an extraterrestrial commander. According to the session, this captive commander is roughly 5 meters tall. That's over 16 feet. The text states that the U.S. military forces this being to provide highly advanced extraterrestrial military tech and scientific information. To keep the commander under control, they allegedly administer heavy drugs to intentionally slow its movements. And, perhaps most surprisingly, the military actively works to block any rescue attempts that might be coming from space. And the ecosystem down there gets even stranger. The text describes a massive aquatic plant located in another part of the facility. But they aren't farming earthfish. The viewer claims this is a dedicated extraterrestrial aquatic farm used to cultivate and study completely bizarre water creatures that were brought here from other star systems. Okay, moving on to Section 3, walk-ins and alien tech. Beyond the captive beings and aquatic farms, this remote viewing session details some incredibly sophisticated intelligence-gathering methods being used by other alien factions residing in the base. The text introduces a fascinating concept known as walk-in tech. According to the source, inside a hemispherical dome in the base, there are 5 specific ET-type aliens resting in capsules. They are described as having slender necks and large heart-shaped heads. While they physically sleep, they use this walk-in technology to project their own souls and consciousness directly into the bodies of key human figures. The text specifically calls out CIA agents and powerful politicians in Washington. It's essentially the ultimate form of espionage, allowing them to secretly monitor human experiences and gather top-secret information from the inside out. So, taking a step back, what do the demographics of Area 51 actually look like? This session claims there are roughly 250 extraterrestrials currently surviving and living within the base, divided across 5 distinct species. But there is a clear hierarchy. The dominant faction, the ones essentially running the show and providing the US government with its cutting-edge military tech, are described as tall, uniformed reptilians who hail from the Cassiopeia constellation. And what exactly is the US military building with this Cassiopeian technology? The session notes the existence of a clandestine weapons factory churning out circular UFO prototypes that are about 10 to 20 meters in diameter. Of course, you can't just fly those around on a sunny Tuesday. To avoid detection from the surface, the text claims they strictly conduct their flight tests using the cover of dark rain clouds and severe thunderstorms. Let's head into Section 4, Control of Earth's History. Because here, the claims in the remote viewing session suddenly escalate to a whole new level. We're no longer just talking about aviation prototypes. We are talking about manipulating the timeline of humanity itself. The author outlines something called the Earth History Control Room deep inside the base. This room supposedly houses insanely advanced future simulation computers that calculate and secretly guide major human events based on future data. The text boldly asserts that massive historical milestones, like President Kennedy averting the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962, or the fall of the Berlin Wall and the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1989, weren't just human triumphs. According to this session, they were actually the direct result of future prediction information and guidance provided by these extraterrestrials. So if history itself is being manipulated, that leads us to our final part, Section 5, the U.S. government's true purpose. What is the ultimate endgame of this top-secret collaboration? According to the remote viewer, the U.S. government is executing a very specific global control plan. Step 1. They are allegedly collaborating with Hollywood. The text even name-drops filmmakers like Steven Spielberg to brainwash people worldwide into believing aliens are hostile invaders. Step 2. They plan to use those reverse-engineered UFOs built in the base to actually stage a fake alien invasion on Earth. And Step 3, they will use the ensuing global panic to completely consolidate all military and scientific power under American control. The source concludes that this clandestine cooperation isn't just about dominating the globe. The author asserts that the ultimate goal of the United States government is to achieve unparalleled military and scientific control over the past, present, and future of the entire universe. It is an endgame of truly staggering, almost incomprehensible scope. So this 2011 remote viewing session leaves us to impartially ponder some incredibly massive concepts. If the esoteric conspiracies detailed in this text were somehow real, and human history is actively being simulated and guided from a subterranean control room, who is actually pulling the strings of our future? Are we charting our own course, or are we literally just playing out a script written 1,500 meters beneath the Nevada desert? It's a fascinating framework to think about. Thanks so much for joining me to unpack this explainer today, and as always, keep questioning what lies beneath the surface.